Max, me fala um pouco sobre a sua família.
Of course. Everything started with couchsurfing, so thanks to the website of hospitality.
Aqui, vou ter o privilégio de ser o primeiro brasileiro a colocar o PIN nesse mapa tão concorrido. Isso tudo aqui são pessoas que já visitaram essa casa ou lugares em que eles visitaram. O PIN azul quer dizer que são pessoas que visitaram essa casa. E eu vou ser o primeiro brasileiro aqui de Vitória, Espírito Santo. Tenho a honra de ser o primeiro aqui nessa casa. Essa é de Dem. E esse é o
Hi.
Alp. Sorry, Alp. Essa casa é onde eu tive o privilégio de estar hospedado. Agora são 10h30 da manhã, eu estou deixando Codroipo e sigo para Cervignano del Friuli. Hoje a pedalada é pequena, cerca de 30 ou 40 quilômetros. O dia amanheceu chuvoso, agora deu uma estiada e tá fresco, mas deve esquentar. E vamos lá, hoje vai ser devagar. Ontem eu não pedalei, tirei o dia para descansar e para acertar a bicicleta. Uns probleminhas da bicicleta, mas já tá tudo certo. Vamos que vamos. Uma coisa que me chama a atenção nessa viagem é isso aqui, ó. Hoje é segunda-feira, são 13h22 por aí. E aí você passa na vila, você não vê ninguém, um silêncio quase que absoluto. Você não ouve um rádio ligado, um funk pancadão, nenhum sertanejo universitário, só silêncio. Parece que está tudo abandonado, mas não, isso aqui é uma vila onde as pessoas vivem aqui. Isso é muito legal, né? Uma tranquilidade que faz gosto. Tem uma paradinha aqui em algum lugar na Itália, que eu não faço a menor ideia onde eu estou, e encontrei dois cicloviajantes holandeses aqui, Bart e Erna. Say hello to Brazil.
Hello. Brazil, hello.
Bart
Brazil in Italy.
and Erna.
Hello.
Pois é, a viagem segue desse jeito, encontrando amigos, fazendo amigos. Aqui termina a cidade de Morsano de Estrada, como diz a placa ali. E a partir daqui começa essa aqui, Gonars. E a curiosidade é que eu já começo a ver uma bandeirinha da Eslovênia aqui. Não sei exatamente o que isso significa. Aquela palavra ali, começada com V, que eu não vou nem tentar pronunciar, é alguma coisa referente à Eslovênia. Essa ali, ó. E esse é o próximo país que eu devo entrar daqui a talvez 4 dias. Vamos que vamos. Agora são 6 horas e eu acabei de chegar aqui no meu destino, Cervignano del Friuli. Essa é a casa que eu vou ficar essa noite. Meu anfitrião está lá dentro. Ele me avisou que está tomando banho, mas já veio me receber. Graças a Deus. Hoje foi super leve, em torno de 40 e poucos quilômetros. Aliás, a distância não é tudo isso não. Eu aqui fiquei rodando uma cidade histórica aqui maravilhosa. Depois eu vou mostrar para vocês. Vou aproveitar a tarde aqui em Cervignano del Friuli com meu anfitrião Nicola. Say hello to Brazil.
Hello.
É isso aí, até mais tarde. Bom, nessa viagem eu estive com bastante gente e me hospedei em vários lugares. E hoje eu estou aqui com o Nicola Passon, o cara mais viajado que eu conheci até hoje. Nicola, quantos países você já conhece?
99.
Wow. Tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, I mean, it just happened. I started traveling. Actually, not so long time ago, because someone would think I started traveling when I was so young. No, actually, I spent most of my life just traveling in Europe, working, no time for real traveling. So I would say just vacations, normal vacations, till I would say was 2015, so not so many years ago. 2015 I decided to travel for real, and the first trip I decided to have was this idea from Europe, it doesn't matter exactly from where, but going to Russia, crossing all Russia till the end.
By car?
No, by train, because Russia is so huge, and train is not only convenient, it's fast, it's cheap, but it's also a real adventure. It really lets you understand the culture of the country, because people are used to travel even 3 days by train just to visit family, because even Brazil are like this a bit, but they have huge distances. So 1,000 kilometers in Russia is nothing special. And so I decided to have this trip crossing all Siberia, and I did it in winter. Not really deep winter, because I thought it was a bit difficult, but anyway, in winter, so I could experience what does it mean Siberia, because for me, from my point of view, was not so interesting to go in Siberia in summer, because it's hot, even in summer.
It's common, normal.
Yeah, it's common. I mean, it's not cold always. They have summer, and for me, going to Siberia without snow, without the coldness, was not so attractive. So I just reached minus 40. That was the lowest temperature I get.
Wow, 40.
Minus 40 was really, strong to me, because anyway, coming from Europe, I never experienced more than maybe 5 or 7 below zero. And everything started that way, and the idea was just to cross Russia. That was the main thing. And then, I have to come back to Europe, so I was thinking maybe I can jump in China a bit or something like that, and taking a flight coming home. And without any plan, I can tell you, I found myself traveling for 27 months. So it's almost 2 years and a half, which is very long, because first it was not planned. I was traveling. I did Europe and Asia twice, and I visit many countries actually, and yeah, it's been a tough experience.
Ok, me fala sobre a sua experiência no Afeganistão. Acho que foi uma das mais duras que você já viveu.
Yeah, Afghanistan, as I was talking before, it's a country where at that time, even now, but especially at that time, was a country you shouldn't go because everyone on the internet will say if you go there is at your own risk. First of all, it's not a country who's used to have tourism. They don't. The only foreigners, they were going to Afghanistan, they were for work in Kabul by plane, for example, from Middle East, or maybe if you are, I don't know, into some business, or if you are a military. These kind of realities are just accessible for you, but doesn't exist in tourism at all. And so I'm just used to use my head when I think, so I just slowly start to get information. So without really saying I have to go, I want to go, I said to myself, let's get some information, why not? Because I was traveling anyway in that part of the Asia. And as I said, I get some blogs with a couple of people. They cross the border. It was a kind of mild experience reading this, because they just said, okay, no problem, we just cross the border, we stay nearby, just with the idea to be in Afghanistan, which is debatable. For me, is not so good, because you just say you've been in Afghanistan, but you don't know anything Afghanistan. If you do that, it's nothing crossing a border. And so I just decided to do it my way. Of course, I'm not a crazy person, I don't want to die, but I said, if I see with my eyes it's very dangerous, I can always just come back or find a way.
How long did you stay there?
I spent 2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, but also because one part of Afghanistan was really, I don't want to say impossible, but it was very difficult to go, and so I couldn't visit the south, where is Kandahar.
But you went in Kabul too?
Yeah, I mean, I crossed, the trip was pretty interesting, because I met someone in the Tajikistan border. I mean, the city is called Korog, I think, something like this, in Tajikistan, where I get hosted by these people, this family. They introduced me to a man who is Afghani and lives the other side of the border. So this man, of course, I want to be honest, at the end he wasn't really friendly. He just wanted money. But for me anyway, it was okay. First of all, I have to say the truth. Thanks for him, I could attempt to something really difficult for a foreigner to see. I've been invited to Afghani wedding, and normally it's forbidden. You're not Muslim, so you don't go there. But I had this good chance to see how they celebrate, and it was really something, because very different than what you expect. For example, the dancing was made by men, not women. The women, they were not part of the party. They were just in another huge tent, all together, just women, just there. The music, the dancing were just all for men, you know. And they were dancing pretty interesting. Very particular. And so that was the first experience. This man with another guy, young guy, they helped me to change the money, which is very difficult. Like in Iran, if you don't know where to go, the money, you can get it only in the black market. No ATM, no banks. All these things are not working for us Europeans. Our card doesn't work. So you have to go with cash, $50, $100, this kind of bills. and change the money, but you really need help, because first of all, you don't know where to go. Second, they see you like an alien. They can really rip you off and give you a bad rate. You know, you lose a lot of money for sure. So they helped me with that, and also very important, they helped me to buy some clothes so I can. Of course, I'm quite white, but not so white, and especially dress in a proper way. I was quite, you know, how to say, I minimize my appearance, you know, going around. So nobody was really look at me, because from distance nobody can notice who I am. Maybe closer they can see my face is not Afghani or whatever. But so this helped me a lot, and they also find a way to put me in a car. I paid for that anyway.
A particular car.
Yeah, in one car with other people to go to my first destination. And the trip was something amazing, because I really noticed we were really, not just me, even these Afghani people, they were all Afghani except me.
Wow. From Kabul?
From everywhere. And
no, this bus.
No, this car was from the border to I don't remember now the city. It's a small town. And I really noticed even them, they were using alternative route to go around, because it was very dangerous. And I saw many points where these militaries with Kalashnikov, they were, I don't know, checking and searching and taking look. In Afghanistan you can see people with Kalashnikov and you don't even know who they are. Maybe they are good people, maybe they are bad people for you.
Well, it's impossible to know what is the good people and bad people.
Especially because you are a foreigner. You don't know what they think about you. Maybe they hate you, maybe they admire you, or maybe they just want to sell you to some rebels, because at that time that was something a bit scary actually, I can understand. I remember they were showing, you know, what they do they kill foreigners just to show to the world they don't want foreigners. But in that case I have to be honest and say they were not really against everyone. That's the tricky part. They consider everyone entering Afghanistan someone want to fight against them because they are soldiers, or you are helping soldiers. Again, because no tourism. That's the funny part. If they would say for sure, no, you are just someone want to visit Afghanistan, I don't think they would do anything against you. But the problem is also a lot of these Talibans, they are notoriously a bit ignorant, because they come from fields, you know, they are very simple people. Of course, at the top of these organizations, probably people with culture they have, for sure. But on the field, most of them are just ignorant people. Not in a bad way, I'm saying. Just people with no knowledge about the world. They just fight against who say to them is the enemy. So in short, I just reached this first city, and it was already a huge thing, believe me, because I crossed areas really scary, really weird. And even one of these Afghani were with me in the first part. They said to me, where are you going? You don't have to go further than here, you know? It's dangerous. And so but I insist. So he helped me. I just pay a few euros, and he helped me to find another ride to the next place. And when I reached this first town, I felt immediately a bit more comfortable, because it was a town. As I said, in Afghanistan, you will never know who is looking you, because they have so many realities, you know. Militaries could be rebels, even the rebels, or it's like Mujahideen in the past, or Taliban's in recent times. You don't know how they are dressed. They look like someone else, anybody else. I mean,
Who is who?
yeah, exactly. So they don't use specific dresses. So that's the first impression. You don't know who's looking you, just for curiosity, or maybe they are thinking to do something to you. So that's something you have to keep in mind. But I was already a bit calm, and I found a way to find someone who was able to speak in English, because that's of course the first problem there. Nobody speaks English. So how can I do almost anything? Even buy a ticket, bus ticket. Okay, if you say Kabul, they understand. You want to go to Kabul. But maybe it's difficult. In fact, I had problems to understand at what time is this bus. And so I had an idea, and this idea was right. I saw a school, at least was obviously a school, and I went there, and I thought maybe someone speaks English in this school. And I was right. I found a guy who was an engineer, and he was teaching something, because he said, I have no job, I'm not an engineer, I don't find for my job, so I can teach something here. And so he helped me. And the funny part is, everyone was saying to me to don't travel by night, because it's dangerous. And I thought, okay, I don't travel by night, no problem. I go to Kabul during the day, because the distance was, I don't know, 7 hours, something like this. And I get quite, not shocked, but I still remember this feeling when I realized the only buses they were selling tickets there, they were all in the night. And I said, Jesus Christ. Even this engineer said to me, no, you don't have to take that bus. Take a flight or whatever. I said, no, I don't take any flight. And so this bus was at 2 a.m. in the morning, you know, very early, very dark. And the funny thing is, this was my first amazing experience in Afghanistan. To spend the evening, I went to eat in a place very simple, where they sell, it's like in Brazil, churrascaria, you know, this kind of needle with the meat, and you have tea and bread, very simple, a bit of salad, very cheap, a couple of dollars, everything. And I said, now, okay, I had dinner, it's just 9, so what I do till 2 a.m. And I couldn't believe, in this place, they wash everything, all the dishes. At a certain point, they start to give to everyone a pillow and blankets. So if you eat there, you are even allowed to sleep there. Everyone. So they not even talk to me, because no English. But they'd even ask me or look at me like weird. What are you doing here? Who are you? You know, they just pull me. You know, throw me. A pillow and a blanket, and so I slept, because they.
At the street.
No. I mean, I forgot to explain, because not everyone actually knows. But sometimes I just take for granted these things. In Middle East, most of places, even at home, they sit on the carpet.
Oh, yes.
And you eat in the carpet. You just sit with the legs down, not like here, sitting here with a table, no. So automatically you can sleep on that carpet. It's very soft, it's fine, it's wood under. So I just slept there. Obviously, I didn't sleep, I was very nervous. Because it was so new, everything, I never seen anything like this. Everyone was sleeping there, nobody was caring about me, but you know, it's a very new world for me, and so I didn't sleep at all, no problem. So at 2 a.m. I just went down in the street, a lot of people waiting for the buses, and I just took the bus and I said, okay, let's go. And after I think a couple of hours, that's also something I will never forget. The bus stopped immediately in the dark, nothing, so you immediately think, what's happened, why you stopped? Could be for many reasons, nothing special, so it's okay. But I really saw people talking outside, and after a minute a man came in the bus with this suit, military suit, holding this machine gun, this Kalashnikov, and he was looking like this, everybody. And I pretend to sleep and to don't, because if I was looking him and maybe he's noticing me, maybe I could be fucked. Maybe I couldn't be here now. I don't know. I will never know who was that guy. But believe me, I was really, 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 how to say, under pressure in that moment, very nervous. And yeah, it just went down and we continued the trip. During the day, I think it was morning or early afternoon, unbelievable. The bus broke. The bus broke in the middle of nowhere, just dust. And again, everyone went out because it was very hot. So we went on this hill, but very dusty, like desert. And I went with them so nobody can noticing me in so many people, huge crowd of people just sitting like this on this hill. And unbelievable to see tanks coming or this kind of small trucks with on top this kind of huge machine guns and stuff with these colors and Afghani flags and stuff. And again, you don't know really who they are. Okay, maybe they're just militaries. I don't know, formal, regular. I mean, but so anyway, it was like being in a movie because I never seen anything like this. You know, this kind of vehicles walking around, going around. And it took 5 hours to fix that bloody bus. And again,
5 hours to fix.
Yeah. And again, I said, Jesus Christ, this mean because the idea was, oh, that's good. I reach Kabul very early afternoon. I have all the day to walk around to find for my host, because I had a host who invited me. He was a guy. In the beginning I didn't know exactly, but so it was 2 or 3 guys. They were running a school, private school. And because of this problem with the bus, I arrive in the night again. So it's not the best, you know, in the night, dark. I don't know where I am. Kabul is not so small anyway. And also, it's dangerous. Maybe I go in the wrong area. I don't know. You know, you think a lot of things. And luckily, and this is really important, at this point I have to say, almost every Muslim country I have been, so friendly, the people. I just show to them this phone number, and this man just called, no problem at all. He just called, saying, hey, here is this white foreigner, blah blah blah. And so the other side of the phone, obviously this guy understood they were talking about me, and so they explained to me, this guy explained to the driver of the bus where I have to go. And so he just went with me. He stopped a taxi driver and he just explained everything, the address probably. And was another funny thing, because before I jumped to the taxi, this man took a picture of the taxi driver to the taxi itself. He pretended to have the phone number. He called to see if the phone was ringing, And only after, when I reached my host, I asked, why was this thing, And because he's very sad to me, very, very normal. Yeah, because many taxi driver, if they see a foreigner, it doesn't matter who you are, maybe they kidnap you, and maybe they sell you to some terrorism and stuff like that. So, and that was my adventure. And when I arrived in Kabul, it's like a mission accomplished, because at least I arrived in Kabul. Kabul, I don't know in South America, but for us in Europe, for many, many years, it's just been the city where bombs explode, where
in South America,
where the fear
the same
all the
impression.
time. I mean, we have this, but I mean, I was young and already, long time ago, and already I still remember these classic cities, these classic areas where connect with war, fear, bombing and stuff, which is Baghdad in Iraq, more recently Syria, but for sure one of the classic one was absolutely Kabul, Afghanistan, because the war has been started there, let's say 30 years ago.
Okay, it's amazing stories. Which will be your 100th country?
Yeah, this of course I don't like to plan because it's a bit silly. It's also funny because I was saying before, when I was in Africa a couple of years ago, I was ready to visit several countries, so I could be already 110 already at that time. And it didn't happen because COVID arrived, and so I get stuck in the Philippines, and of course I don't count a country twice. You can count one when you visit. I was already been in the Philippines several times. So I get stuck in the Philippines 5 months. So after that, I have to say I spent 1 year and a half, I think, here at least. And then I traveled to South America, and with those countries I visit till Colombia. I arrive at 99. Because coming back, I visit Kurdistan, and Kurdistan is not Iraq. So that's my simple philosophy. I didn't count, first of all, Kurdistan is not a country. It's an autonomous region in the north of Iraq. And I count the countries only when I really visit, not just one city, and then I go out, no. So I didn't visit Iraq at all because I need the visa for that. At that time I couldn't get the visa. Why? Because another funny story is I visit Israel, like many people, of course. But what Israel normally do is they don't stamp your passport. They give you a piece of paper with a stamp.
Okay.
And when you leave the country, you throw it away to avoid any stamp. Because if you have an Israeli stamp, you are not welcome in several countries. In Syria, in Sudan, even in Malaysia. And so, okay. And the point is, what normally people do is to fly in and fly out, so no problem. But I'm not that kind of person. So I flew in to Tel Aviv, but then I crossed the border to Jordan by land, and already you have a stamp, which is not Tel Aviv, it's something, if you Google it, you see immediately it's a border. And then I went down till the bottom of Jordan, I entered to Israel again, and so you have another stamp. And then from Israel, I've been by land to Egypt, so another huge stamp. So it was obvious I've been in Israel. Because of that, I can't enter to Iraq, Syria and these countries. But now, finally, I have a new passport, and one of the trips, for sure, I want to do it. I don't know if it will be the first one, maybe it will be the first one to be, because it's convenient and I want to do it, and will be a kind of triangle which allow me to say, okay, at this point I really visit Middle East. because the only part of Middle East I never been for these issues and for many others actually is exactly this triangle I want to do. I want to flew or from here directly, probably from here is cheap, to Saudi Arabia. From Saudi Arabia I want to hitchhike around till Emirates. I want to go to Abu Dhabi because I never been to Abu Dhabi. I've been in Dubai, other areas, but not Abu Dhabi. And then from Abu Dhabi I go back to Saudi Arabia because I think I can take a visa with 2 entries. Differently, I have to change my mind. But anyway, so when I'm in that area, I want to go to the small country. Come on, close to the border with Iraq.
Yemen?
No. Yemen is down. It's a small country, one of these 3 countries. Jesus Christ. The funny part is I've been there already. So. Kuwait. In Kuwait. So I want to enter Kuwait because I know for sure from there I can take the Iraqi visa on arrival at the border. You pay $60, I think, I don't know, and you enter. Only at that moment I would say I've been in Iraq and I want to visit a bit. I want to go back to Kurdistan because it's one area I couldn't visit before, and it's also because it's part actually of Iraq. And then I want to go back to Jordan, and finally from Jordan I will have to manage a bit, not easy. And not because it's difficult, but you have to plan, and I don't like to plan too much in advance. I don't like it. I will finally go to visit Syria. So that will be my triangle to conclude. Of course, as you mentioned, I can go to Yemen. Yemen is the only country I can visit in entire Asia. All the others you can, if you want. Even Afghanistan. You risk something, maybe, I don't know, maybe not, but you take a visa and you go. Yemen is not, because till now Yemen is divided in 2 parts. One is it's supported by Iran, the northern part, when you enter from Oman. The other side, where is the capital, also Sana'a, this part, is managed by other people from Saudi Arabia. So if you enter from one part, you can go the other and opposite. So Yemen is still tough.
Hard.
It's very difficult, for don't mention it's very risky. They are very, very suffering of starving, and even for, you develop certain diseases when you live in a certain conditions of poverty. And so I think, but as I said, it's not so important. The number 100 will be Saudi Arabia or one of those. Yeah.
Okay, thank you to share your experience, a great experience.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, and it's funny, but traveling you always have many, many funny stories,
I know.
Yeah, actually, sometimes not funny, sometimes a bit tough, annoying, or you met people not so friendly. But Jesus, this is the world.
Yeah.
It can be always super funny. You always have this kind of situations, or it's positive, or it's negative, or it's just neutral. I mean, nothing special. And you're just somewhere with someone, and then you move on.